Hi, my name's Megan Howard and I work for Aecus Recruitment. We're a recruitment consultancy based in Staffordshire with video technology right at the heart of our process here. So the first thing I wanted to go ahead and do was talk a little bit about how video CVs work and what it's expected to look like when you receive one through from a candidate. So this is to begin with what candidates will see when we send them a link to complete their video CV. This is the screen that they'll be greeted with. So they'll be first asked to input their name and their email address, and then they will be asked to agree to the privacy policy here. And when they're ready, they can click proceed. So then they'll have this next page here, just letting them know that they're going to need to give access to their camera and microphone in order to do the video interview. So this is the first page that you'll be greeted with. It'll be asking you to check your settings, making sure that the microphone's working, that the camera's working, and just making sure that was all working. So I can see that the line, the white line below me is flickering. So that means it's working fine. It can pick me up clearly. And when they're ready, they can start. So it just lets you know that you'll be asked 5 questions and you'll be able to click next through to the next one. And it gives you an advisory indication that it's going to be around about 9 minutes to do this. And then you've got a few tips there, so just making sure that you look into the camera, make sure that you're reading all of the questions aloud, because it really just helps you to give you time to think about your answers, and just making sure that everything's well lit as well in your center in the frame. So then it will count you down. And the first question is just going to be a simple one, asking them for their name and where they're based. And it gives you suggested times as well. And you also have that restart interview option. So if the candidate isn't happy with the first time they do the video CV, they always have the choice to be able to restart. And then we'll go through the questions. Again, it gives you those indications of time, and you've got that restart function there. In every single question, this will be the case as well. So then we've got another one there. So it just gives, it's always good as well as to for the candidates to talk through the questions and actually say them aloud, just because then you're not pausing to read the question and then there's this wait there, there's this delay. So if you're reading the questions aloud, it just means that you're able to process it, but also there isn't going to be a delay then in waiting to hear from the answer. So then we come to the end of the 5 questions. So immediately it will start to play, as you can see, and it will give the candidate the option to have a look back at the questions that they've already answered. They'll be able to also go and play through them and see if they're completely happy with it, if the audio quality is fine and they're ready for it to be submitted. And once they are happy with it, if I just hide that for a moment, you'll be able to say, I've been able to watch the interview back, I'm happy with it, and they can either submit the recording and then we will receive that, or they can choose to restart the interview. So in this case, I'm just going to hit submit. And then at that point, again, this will show up on screen and they'll be able to look at their final video CV, make sure that they're happy with it. So that's what to expect from the candidate side. The next part I want to talk a little bit about is what you'll see from the client perspective. So when we send across our video CVs, we send them through the platform of our talent dashboard. So this is a space where you can view all of the video CVs for the vacancy in one location. So rather than having those giant video files that you would need to download, you would just have it all in one easy link. So we would send through what we call a magic link, and this is a one-time link that you'll be able to click on, and you would then have access to see all of those video CVs, and the email address that you would be using would already have been pre-approved by the recruiter. So if I go into my emails now, I've got an email here with the link to the talent dashboard, which I can click on here. So once you click the link, it will take you straight through to this screen. Pick continue, and I'll put the client view on so that you'll see this is what you will see. So the first thing, you will have the your actual logo here in the corner rather than the Aecus Recruitment one, so that it's branded, and you will then have the name of the vacancy appear here. So rather than demo shortlist, it will say what the job title is, and just a brief description as well about the job too. Then you'll have your recruiter on the side here on the right, and you'll be able to see their contact details there. And then if I scroll down a little, you'll see this is where the video CVs will appear. So you can sort these as well. So if I had several video CVs, I could sort them by salary or by notice period or by the recommendation of the recruiter. So if I were to go over here to one of the video CVs, you can also see that salary and notice period here appear. And you can also see likes and dislikes, which I'll come to in just a minute. So if I go next into details, so this is where you will see their video CV, and alongside it on the right, you will see their written CV appear next to it. So you can actually compare between what that individual is saying and if it aligns with what they're saying on their CV too. You also have the chance, if I just move this along slightly, you'll see that salary and notice period again. Specified, and you'll also be able to see the questions that they've answered. So it will give you all of those questions here. And if I just move that along. So you'll be able to see what they've answered. In this case, it's sort of the general questions I've done here, sort of name and location, a little bit about their experience, qualifications, what employers can offer by way of development, all of those sorts of things. But you can also skip through the video CV. So you don't have to watch it from sort of from the beginning each time. If you wanted to view it more than just once, you could go straight to the particular question you wanted to see. So I could go, if I start playing the video CV, I can go straight to question 2, and it will have the timings already there in place, so you can skip through it by question 2. You also have the option to add comments too about the candidate, so give them a little bit of feedback. You can also ask to request an interview as well, which I will come to in a minute, or you can arrange that with the recruiter too. Over on this side, you'll have as I mentioned, the CV and also any additional files that any additional documents, that they would have had to complete will appear here in this section. There's also a summary, which the recruiter will give a little bit of an overview about the candidate. And you'll also have a comment section where you'll see the comments that you've added. So that's effectively what the layout will look like. You also have, if I go back, you can go next as well. So you can go straight to the next video CV too. And you have these likes and dislikes. So if for whatever reason, you want to sort of give a like or dislike, you could then follow that up with a comment to give a little bit of feedback as to why you gave that like or dislike to. So I'll come out of here now. But so that's just a brief overview really of what the talent dashboard looks like, what to expect, how the video CVs will appear, just really to give an overview of all of that.